Good morning and hello everyone. Welcome to Kind Malaysia 2021. Thank you for joining us today for the Kind Malaysia Talks Presentation Day 3, Session 3. Ladies and gentlemen, Special Olympic is the non-profit international program of sports training and athlete competition for persons with intellectual disabilities. Founded in 1968 by Eunice Kennedy Shriver, Special Olympics International is the world's largest amateur sports with more than 1 million athletes in over 115 countries and the only organization authorized by the International Olympic Committee to use the word Olympics worldwide. Special Olympics' mission is to provide year-round sports training and athlete competition in a variety of Olympic-type sports for children and adults with intellectual disabilities, giving them continuing opportunities to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, and participate in the sharing of gifts, skills, and friendship in the community. So, without further delay, allow me to invite Mr. Kevin Lee, Advisor of Special Olympics Selangor, to begin the presentation titled Transform Lives Through the Power and Joy of Sports.
Very good afternoon, Tan Sri, Dato, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kevin Lee. I am currently the IT Administrator of Special Olympics Malaysia, Advisor and former Secretary of Special Olympics Selangor. I have been involved with Special Olympic movement as a volunteer bowling coach since 2017. On behalf of Special Olympics Malaysia in Selangor, I'd like to thank Kind Malaysia for your kind sponsorship and providing us this great opportunity to engage with corporates of Malaysia. Once again, we are thankful to Kind Malaysia for giving us this opportunity to share our story today, transform lives through the power and joy of sport. There will be 3 parts to today's sharing. First, I will touch on the history of Special Olympics. Then I will briefly introduce what we do in Special Olympics. And then finally, how can you get involved in our movement. First, let me take you back to the 60s where I will share the history and background of Special Olympics. It all started back in the 60s when our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver, realized how people with intellectual disabilities were treated and decided to start a movement in June 1962 by opening a summer camp for young people with intellectual disability at her home in suburban Washington, D.C., what was then known as Shriver Camp. Her sister had an intellectual disability, and as the whole family played sports together, Eunice saw potential for a whole new playbook to create common ground and unite people from all walks of life. The very first International Special Olympic Summer Games were held in Chicago, Illinois in the year 1968, and that was when Special Olympics was formally created. She also coined the phrase, "Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." This phrase has become our athletes' quotes until today. Since then, Special Olympics has come a long way in becoming one of the largest and the only non-profit organizations using sport as a catalyst for change for people with intellectual disabilities to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, build confidence, and create friendships on and off the field. Coincidentally, we are celebrating her 100th birthday this year. Now let us watch this video together and pay a tribute to her legacy.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver is a pioneer who literally changed the way persons with intellectual disabilities are treated and viewed not only in the United States, but in Africa and around the world.
My mother has been a key leader in the field of intellectual disabilities. I think she has done more than any other single human being. When my mom started Camp Shriver, there were 100 counselors, there were 100 kids with special needs, and the world's view of people with mental disabilities was vastly different than it is today.
We had a sister, Rosemary, who was challenged intellectually, and Eunice would spend the extra time with Rosemary, teaching her and making sure that she felt included.
That was a good 40 years ago, and I can't think of a positive experience, really, for our special friends in those days. They had no special education. They had no special sports. It's very hard in a classroom when you're in the 6th grade to try to compete against somebody who's doing math or geography. But if you can go with that same person out on a field and play a sport, our special friend will excel.
It was really that spirit that started the Special Olympics.
Today, many of you will win. But even more important, I know you will be brave and bring credit to your parents and to your country. Let us begin the Olympics. Thank you.
Eunice is tireless and fearless and reflects a sense of goodness. So it's very difficult for people to say no to Eunice. After President Kennedy was sworn in, he used to joke that he feared seeing Eunice because Eunice always had an agenda.
Her fingerprints are on legislation, on schools, on institutions, on perceptions, and I think most importantly on individual lives.
I know.
Most of all, I see from Mr. Shriver that I have rights, and we have a right to live and enjoy life to our fullest. And still today, almost 3 million people take part in Special Olympics, and it started with one lady who gave 48 years of her life to show the world of what we can do.
I love to be with my special friends, and I like to learn from them. I learn persistence, I learn guts, I learn courage. This is the future. For love, for hope, for faith, to bring peace and bring excellence to our special friends through sports.
It was a great story about our founder, Eunice Kennedy Shriver. Every great organization has a mission, and Special Olympics is without exception. The mission of Special Olympics is to provide year-round sports training and athletic competition in a variety of Olympic-type sports for children and adults with intellectual disability, giving them continuing opportunities to develop physical fitness, demonstrate courage, experience joy, and participate in a sharing of gifts, skill, and friendship with their families, other Special Olympic athletes, and the community. Special Olympics is currently present in over 200 countries across 7 regions. Today, we have provided sports and non-sports activity to 5.7 million athletes, supported from 500,000 families, 1 million volunteers, and 400,000 coaches in 37 Olympic-type sports. We organize summer games and winter games every 2 years, alternately, and the next World Summer Game will begin in Berlin, Germany 2023. In preparation for this coming World Game, we will be holding our national games in June 2022, when we will select athletes to represent Malaysia in World Games Berlin 2023, sorry. Special Olympic Malaysia is the only accredited national program for Malaysia. We are part of Special Olympic Asia Pacific region, and at the present moment, Selangor and 9 other states are accredited state programs, and it is our aim to spread to all other states in Malaysia in the near future. Now, I would like to share with you some facts about 2 to 3% or 2 to 300 millions of the global population have intellectual disabilities, making it one of the largest disabled population in the world. In Malaysia's context, with a general population of 33.4 million, we are looking at about 800 to 1 million people with intellectual disability in this country. Our athletes face a desperate and reality of social, political, cultural discrimination, spanning the full spectrum from oppression and isolations to bullying and abuses. I think all of you would agree that in some point in our life, we have read some news or heard stories about the bullying in schools and etc. People with intellectual disability are routinely excluded from ongoing sports programs. Many young athletes today, especially those with intellectual disability, face discrimination, bullying, isolation, contributing to unwelcome and intolerant school and communities for all. People with intellectual disabilities are at great risk for a number of preventable health conditions and experience higher mortality rates. That brings us to our second part of my story on what we do in Special Olympics. Through our programs, we are able to change the athlete's life from being in isolation and exclusion to active participation in sports and non-sport activity, allowing them to discover their own talents through year-round sports training competition. And in the process, our athletes gain courage, build friendship, learn social skills through interaction with their other athletes, coaches, volunteers, partners, parents, and not to forget the joy they can experience from winning in a competition. Special Olympics today cover beyond sports. Okay, we start with the Young Athletes Program. This program is targeted for children with and without disability from age of 2 to 7, as they we will train them the basic sporting skills, motor and social skills, and acceptance. They grow as they grow older and move on to the mainstream school. They will be equipped with all the basic sporting skill and ready to take part in the Olympic type sports for those that are age over 8 and over. Okay, in the Olympic type sport, we organize 2 different types. One under the traditional sport where only intellectual disability athletes are taking part, are competing with each other, and there is also another category called unified sports where people with and without intellectual disability will partner together in a team competition setting, okay, whereby they are given equal opportunity to compete against a group of children with similar ability, giving them a better chance of winning. And throughout the years, we provide trainings in the Olympic type sports and organize competition locally in the community, on the state level, national level, as well as World Games. Family is a key part of our movement, and without the support of the family, we wouldn't be able to get to the athletes to participate in our activities. It is for this reason that Special Olympics has set up family support network programs where we organize various non-sports activities for the athletes' family. Example of the activities are health forums, dance fitness, family fun games, Fit Five Fitness, and others. Healthy Athlete Program is another program where we organize health screening for athletes. And these screenings are provided by health professionals with the support of corporate partners and volunteers. There are 7 different disciplines of screening programs that we organize under Healthy Athletes Program in partnership with health professionals and universities Faculty of Medicines. For example, in partnership with Lions Club International, we run opening eyes for the eyes and for the vision and eye care, audiology for healthy ear screening, special smile for dentistry screening, medical fest for physical examination, health promotion for prevention and nutrition, strong mind for emotional health, fun fitness for physical therapy, and fit for podiatry. Under the Unified School programs, we empower youth and educators to be the leaders of change in the school environment. By playing and learning, we will create a more inclusive world. This program is a concept where we partner with the mainstream private and schools and colleges that has a special education unit to run our sports training and competition under the unified sports settings. Students of all abilities have the power to positively impact their school communities by promoting social inclusion. Last but not least, for the leadership program, it is an inclusive program where young athletes of all abilities are given opportunities to be leaders in the school communities. This leadership activity helps students find their voices. We teach them to become change agents in their communities by promoting equality and acceptance. How this program impact our athletes? As discussed earlier, many of our athletes are being isolated and excluded in many sporting programs. Through our programs, we change the life of athletes from being in isolation and exclusion from physical sport activity to an environment where they participate in the sporting activities, discover their sporting talent through the guidance of our coaches. They learn the sporting skills and found courage to participate in all our activities. They develop friendships and social skills through their interactions with coaches, volunteers, their schoolmates, employers, educators, and doctors. Okay. And not to forget that they will also experience the joy of winning in the competition. These are collections of some photos of our athletes in actions over the years. You can see some social activities, sporting, training, competitions, photos from our athletes. Now, that brings us to the last part of our presentation. Through our programs, Special Olympics unleash the human spirit through the transformation power of and joy of sports every day around the world. These are some of the words that we can describe the impact Special Olympics program has on our athletes. Now, how can you get involved in our movement? Okay, there are 5 different ways that you can engage with us. Okay, first of all, if you have any employees who are passionate about sports, they can join us as a volunteer community coach to impart their sporting knowledge and skills to our athletes and unified partners. As a community coach, we provide an online learning portal for our coach continuous education program. Okay, when they join our movement, you can also encourage your employees to participate in our program as a volunteer to help us in organizing sporting events or use their creative talents to help us create brochures and their management skills in managing and planning of our events and competitions. For those family members who has people with intellectual disabilities, do encourage them to be part of our family support network and engage with our group of volunteers in planning out special events and activities for the family members. And the family are a #1 fan of Special Olympic athletes. They give the type of love, support, and encouragement that no one else can. Special Olympics is a support network that brings family together in a caring, positive way, and that makes the cheers for our athletes even louder during the competition. If any of your employees' family has got people with intellectual disability, do encourage them to join our movement. And our athletes are the heart of Special Olympics. Our athletes are children and adults with and without intellectual disabilities. People without intellectual disabilities can join us as a unified partner and play together with our athletes in a unified team sports. Last but not least, as a corporation, you can become a sponsor. This is where corporate Malaysia can play a key role in helping us in reaching out to more families and peoples with intellectual disabilities. Be a sponsor by providing funding to help us run our program, or engage with us to organize unified sports events or family fun games as part of your CSR's program. I can assure you that many of you will have lots of fun playing sports games with our athletes. Now, why should you partner with Special Olympics? According to the study by the Special Olympics in the US, corporate partnership with Special Olympics strengthen a partner's brand value, engage employees, build consumer loyalty, and most importantly, promote business objectives. 95% of the consumer in the survey says that our brand deserves respect, loyalty, and goodwill. And nearly 9 out of 10 consumers believe Special Olympics has a positive social impact. And Special Olympics is among the top 10% of the most trustworthy brands in the US. These are just some of Malaysian organizations that have supported us over the years, and we sincerely hope in the near future, your organization will join us in this special movement, making a difference in one's life and create an inclusive community in Malaysia. Now I would like to end my presentation with this video about Special Olympics. This video sums up my story for today. Let's sit back and enjoy the video.
Changing the world is a contact sport. And when it comes to changing the world, there are no better athletes than the athletes of Special Olympics. Every day around the world, Special Olympics athletes come to the playing fields to learn, to grow, to compete, and to win. The Special Olympics Athlete Oath embodies this spirit. Let me win, but if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt. At Special Olympics, we envision a world where everyone belongs, where bravery triumphs, ability emerges, skills grow, laughter invites. The human spirit is unleashed and the world is changed. one volunteer, one fan, one doctor, one teacher, one athlete at a time. Founded by Eunice Kennedy Shriver in 1968, Special Olympics is led by millions of athletes with intellectual disabilities in more than 170 countries, each embodying the beauty of difference. And Special Olympics athletes compete in over 80,000 competitions a year and World, Winter, or Summer Games every 2 years. Special Olympics is an everyday opportunity to make a difference in the world, bringing together people of all abilities to create a world of respect and inclusion. We're a global network of families who share inspiration, hope, and understanding. We're coaches, volunteers, and community builders, reaching out to children and adults who might otherwise be forgotten in some of the most remote parts of the world. And though sports is our engine, Special Olympics is so much more. We're changing the world in many different ways and in many different arenas. We're Special Olympics Healthy Athletes, the world's largest public health organization for people with intellectual disabilities. We're Special Olympics Healthy Communities, changing how governments, businesses, and policymakers address the unmet health needs of adults and children with intellectual disabilities. We're Special Olympics Unified Sports, helping to build relationships and understanding between people with and without intellectual disabilities. We're Special Olympics Young Athletes, unlocking the power of sports for the youngest children, ages 2 to 7, and their families. We're athlete leaders, trained and empowered, demanding respect and leading by example all around the world. Through the power and joy of sports, Special Olympics is revealing the champions in all of us. Come play with us. Together, we will change the world through sport.
That brings us to the end of the presentation. And here are some contact information from both Special Olympic Malaysia and Selangor. Do visit, like, and follow us on our Facebook page and visit our website to get more information about the happenings in and around Special Olympic Malaysia. You can also find the various state contact information, state progress contact information. If you have any questions or would like to engage with us on the next CASR program, or you would like to provide sponsorship fundings to us, you can reach out to us by phone or email to us. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin, for the meaningful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce our second presenter from the Women in Governance and Technology Association of Malaysia, also known as WIGTA. WIGTA is promoting awareness about women and girls' achievement in corporate governance and technology in the society. WIGTA's main objective is to promote awareness among women how important it is governance and technology in our daily lives. WIGTA offers a space for improvement and ideas to make everyone different than the others. So, without further delay, allow me to invite Madam Tetty Henney Zulkifli, President of Women in Governance and Technology Association, to begin her presentation titled Women in Governance and Technology Association, WIGTA Malaysia.
Salam sejahtera. Hai dan apa khabar semua rakyat Malaysia. Saya Madam Tetty Henney Zulkifli, Presiden Persatuan Wanita dalam Urus Takbir dan Teknologi atau Women in Governance Technology Association of Malaysia, WIGTA. Hari ini akan menyampaikan pembentangan bagi mewakili Cik Roslina Manaf, pemangku Naib Presiden merangkap setiausaha kami yang tidak dapat membentang kerana tidak sihat. Okey, hari ini saya akan menyampaikan pembentangan yang bertajuk WIGTA Malaysia. Okay, sebelum itu saya ingin mengucapkan selamat Hari Kebangsaan yang ke-64 dan semoga semua rakyat Malaysia sentiasa bersatu padu dan kuat demi menangani pandemik yang sedang melanda negara kita dan dunia sekarang. Okey, tentang WIGTA Malaysia. Persatuan Wanita dalam Urus Takbir dan Teknologi Malaysia atau lebih dikenali sebagai WIGTA Malaysia ditubuhkan pada 2016. WIGTA Malaysia memfokuskan untuk merapatkan jurang antara sesetengah profesional wanita dalam industri. Ia memastikan sesetengah wanita yang tidak berkemampuan diberi pendidikan tambahan. Di samping itu, WIGTA Malaysia juga membimbing dan membangun wanita, sesetengah wanita, ya, untuk mencapai tahap kerjaya yang lebih baik. Kami juga menggalakkan penyertaan wanita untuk menyertai aktiviti kerja kebajikan masyarakat yang dianjurkan oleh kami. Tidak dilupakan, WIGTA Malaysia bergerak seiring dengan wawasan negara dalam pembangunan ekonomi, pendidikan, teknologi, sosial dan lain-lain tanpa mengambil kira perbezaan gender, bangsa, agama dan budaya. Ini adalah barisan ahli jawatan kuasa kami, di mana saya adalah merupakan presiden dan pengasas persatuan. Semenjak ia ditubuhkan, saya dibantu oleh Cik Nik Amalin Harisah binti Nik Zafri. Ia merupakan naib presiden kami. Saya juga dibantu oleh Cik Roslina Manaf yang merupakan merangkap naib presiden dan setiausaha kami. Cik Afina Alia Azna Effendi merupakan bendahari kami, manakala Puan Normah Abdullah membantu kami dalam kerja-kerja menyelaras sukarelawan. Ini merupakan pencapaian WIGTA Malaysia pada 2019 yang ingin saya kongsikan. WIGTA Malaysia telah menandatangani kerjasama dalam projek-projek Sustainable Development Growth Initiative dengan Management Science University. So, hingga sekarang ini, kami masih lagi bekerjasama. Pada 2019, saya telah dijemput untuk menyertai Europa Awards Sustainability ataupun EUMCCI 2019. WIGTA Malaysia telah dijemput untuk menyertai 2 kategori dan kami berjaya sampai ke peringkat akhir anugerah. Dan saya berasa bangga sebenarnya kerana usaha WIGTA untuk memperkasa golongan wanita dalam kerjaya dan keusahawanan telah dipilih oleh juri untuk dipertandingkan dalam kategori Social Award. Jadi ini merupakan pengalaman WIGTA menyertai peringkat antarabangsa pada tahun 2019. Okey, pada tahun lepas, pada 2020, sekali lagi WIGTA Malaysia dan MSU telah memenangi anugerah Gold Award dalam kategori Social Innovation Award. Untuk pengetahuan semua, ini adalah pencapaian WIGTA Malaysia yang terbesar di peringkat kebangsaan pada tahun 2020. Hasil ciptaan cermin mata kesihatan yang direkod cipta oleh pelajar MSU dengan sokongan WIGTA Malaysia sebagai wakil komuniti telah mendapat perhatian juri dan memenangi anugerah. Pada tahun ini, sekali lagi WIGTA Malaysia telah mendapat satu lagi pengiktirafan, iaitu kami telah menerima sijil integriti corporate daripada Corporate Integrity System CIS pada bulan Mei lepas. Dengan anugerah ini, WIGTA Malaysia perlu menjalankan kerja dengan amanah, integriti, terbuka dan bertanggungjawab. Terima kasih kerana menganugerah kami satu penganugerahan yang sangat besar pada tahun ini. Ini merupakan senarai rakan niaga dan rangkaian WIGTA Malaysia sejak penubuhan hinggalah pada tahun ini. Kami juga tidak lupa kepada individu, organisasi lain yang tidak tersenarai di sini dan sebenarnya banyak lagi rakan perniagaan daripada sektor swasta dan kerajaan yang telah banyak membantu saya untuk mengembling tenaga bagi menyampaikan pertolongan dan bantuan semula kepada masyarakat, khususnya golongan wanita dan gadis. Okey, jadi bagi mengakhiri slide ini, persembahan ini, jika ada pertanyaan ataupun apa-apa cadangan, saranan dan syur kepada kami, sila emailkan pertanyaan itu kepada kami di women.wigta@gmail.com. Kami juga ada di semua media sosial, lawati dan hubungi kami. Sebelum saya mengakhiri slide, saya mengucapkan terima kasih kepada penganjur Kind Malaysia virtual event kerana menjemput kami untuk menjadi salah satu daripada peserta dalam event ini. Terima kasih sekali lagi.
Thank you, Madam Tetty Henney, for the insightful presentation.
Gonna make it right as I turn up the collar on my favorite winter coat. This wind is blowing my mind. I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind, pretending not to see their need? A summer disregard, a broken bottle top, and a one-man show. They follow each other on a wind, you know, 'cause they got nowhere to go. That's why I want you to know I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change. Come on, na 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 na. Na 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 na. I've been a victim of a selfish kind of love. It's time that I realize that there are some with no home, not a nigga too long. Could it be really me pretending that they're not alone? A willow deeply scarred, somebody's broken heart, and a washed-out dream. They follow the pattern of the wind, you see, 'cause they got no place to be. That's why I'm starting with me. I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways, and no message could have been any clearer. If you wanna make the world a better place, take a look at yourself
Kind Malaysia, the concept is actually to connect corporates with the civil society. We need to understand that we have a responsibility. We did this activity, it has to have real meaning and real impact of contributing back to society, because overall will benefit the country as a whole.
Kind Malaysia serves as a unique platform to promote engagement between the private sector with community groups, offering collaborative opportunity through partnership to further enhance corporate role in humanity.
It doesn't take much to spark a revolution. Let's spark a revolution that makes a difference in this world.
Bring together all the universities to come together under our platform, and then we give up scholarships in various universities for people who really deserve it. And we have been doing this because we felt that people like y'all who do this work unrecognized deserves to be recognized. So we have these unsung heroes because we want to recognize y'all for your great job that you guys do.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our next organization. Be Good, Do Good Association is focuses on cultivation of humanistic values and charitable deeds. Be Good, Do Good Association is a charity organization made up of people from multiracial, multicultural and multi-religious background. Be Good, Do Good Association goal is to encourage their members to cultivate themselves and to do good deeds towards building a harmonious world. Our next presentation titled Doing Good Well, Low Cost and High Impact by Mr. Victor Oi Boon Beng, President of Be Good Do Good Association and also Group Chief Executive Officer of ASEAN Secrets Group.
Good day everyone. I'm Victor Oi, the founder and president of Be Good Do Good Association. Thank you Kind Malaysia for inviting me to share our experiences at this event. I shall call Be Good Do Good Association the acronym BGDG from here on. The topic I will be delivering is on Do Good Well with low cost and high impact programs. I hope with a better understanding of what we are doing at BGDG, we will be able to work together with the like-minded individuals, corporation or charity organization after this Kind Malaysia event to do more for the betterment of our community. To start with, let me share with you what BGDG is about. BGDG is a charity organization of solidarity and inclusion, enriched by our people from diverse backgrounds in terms of race, gender, religion, politics, and culture. Our goal is to encourage our members to cultivate ourselves and to do good deeds towards building a harmonious world. As our name, Be Good Do Good Association indicates, we are involved in both be good and do good areas of the charity works. For Be Good, we help ourselves to cultivate spiritually to achieve peace and prosperity. For Do Good, we help the underprivileged to attend to their basic needs, such as food and water, clothing and shelter,
their health, and so on. Before we set up BGDG, we understand the biggest challenges faced by a charity organization will be limited fund, lack of volunteers in planning and execution, the harmony and commitment amongst the volunteers. Knowing the challenges, and in order for us to achieve more with our limited resources, we have deliberately designed BGDG with these three key structures. The Council is the decision-making body. The 5 committees are the operating bodies. And the Advisory Board, on the other hand, is the consultative body of our association. The 5 committees, which is the operating body of BGDG, covers social welfare by SWAA committee, social economy by SEF committee, social integration by SIS committee, social education by CBE committee, and lastly, media and technology by MT committee. In BGDG, CBE committee represents the sole builder of BGDG that manage, develop, and nurture the Be Good program. The Do Good program in the areas of social welfare, social economy, social integration are planned and executed by SWAA, SEF, and SIS committee. It is our belief that to do good well, we have to be good well first. As our council member, committee member, and general members are from diverse backgrounds, we specifically identify entities that are free from racial, political, religious alignment for our Be Good program. We are fortunate to find the Prem Rawat Foundation, which has more than 50 years of experience in providing us the framework and fundamental courses that help our members to discover their own inner strength and personal peace. We also work with Dr. Lim Xiao Jin, who has passionately promoted Sunya therapy internationally. It helps our members to reset their mind for peace and prosperity. As both the Prem Rawat Foundation and Dr. Lim Xiao Jin are offering their courses as a community service, Be Good Do Good and our member has been able to benefit from this program at no cost at all. In executing the Do Good program, we are executing it via the 3 committees, the SWAA, SEF, and SIS. In the area of social welfare, instead of committing our resources, time, and energy into raising the fund from the general public, we turn to government institutions such as SOCSO and Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat. We have a team of volunteers that have years of experience to leverage on the subsistence allowances and aid offered to those underprivileged groups and the needy by facilitating their application to this institution. These beneficiaries, once their application is approved, will receive a monthly allowance which will help to sustain their living costs to a large extent. This social welfare program is certainly an effective tool for humanitarian aid. Over the years, hundreds of them have benefited, and the subsistence allowances secured via these volunteers has exceeded millions of ringgits, which would otherwise become a financial burden to our community in the form of donation. In the area of social economy, we are working and leveraging on the resources of the able corporation who have strong sense of corporate social responsibility. This corporation part their technology, know-how, and at times finances to the needy for them to generate income for their livelihood. The first corporation that come into this program is DXN Group, which is the world's largest gynoderma company, which has supported us with the mushroom project targeting at the B40 group. DXN provide the finances, the technology, and the know-how of planting mushroom to these B40 groups, and they are expected to generate about 2,000 to 2,500 ringgit per month of income. By leveraging on the strength of this civic conscious corporation, BGDG is able to help those financially deprived group. Rather than giving them the fish, this social economy program allows the transfer of know-how to make this B40 group self-independent. In the process, it helps to lessen the burden of BGDG with long-term financial assistance. We also encourage this B40 group to contribute back to charity by giving away part of their excess income, hence creating a healthy cycle of taking and giving back to the community. In the area of social integration, BGDG works with in excess of 30 charity organization partners in various Be Good and Do Good programs. By converging and sharing our resources, we are able to achieve more in helping those needy. In the process, it makes the social work more efficient and more cost-effective. For instance, from end of March to June last year, we were able to distribute 3,000 plus food packs to those affected during the MCO on daily basis. This is only possible as some of our charity partners were involved in contributing food ration such as rice, eggs, veggie, and so on. And some of them are providing their kitchen and restaurant for us to cook. Some were providing their volunteers to pack the food. Some are providing vehicles to transport the food pack and so on. Another good example to share is the food aid program during the recent White Flag campaign. Our team has coordinated and collaborated with the manufacturer of Mi Sedap to secure the supplies. We then have gathered more than 40 organizations and partners to work together to distribute more than 1 million packs of Mi Sedap instant noodles to those needy in the Klang Valley and to other states as far as those in the northern and southern region as well. The convergence and sharing of resources and the leveraging on each other's strength among our strategic charity partners in the charity fraternity is certainly a winning model, no doubt about it. It certainly allows the resources to be deployed and to reach the needy in a much more efficient and cost effective manner. Our Media and Technology Committee, on the other hand, is the committee that is rendering media, technology, graphic design, video production to support the branding of Be Good Do Good. Its key role is to position BGDG as a trusted brand in the eyes of the world. With a strong brand, it actually helps us to increase the opportunity for fundraising and for us to secure partnership by spreading awareness of what we are doing to make a difference to the society. The BGDG's operating model, such as what I shared above, has allowed BGDG, which has limited resources, to accomplish quite substantially in less than 2 years since our inception. We also welcome like-minded individuals to join us in our committee or as volunteers in our quest to help the vulnerable groups in our community. Lastly, I would like to echo to the theme of this event, time to be kind. Let us be good, do good, and feel good together. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Victor, for the wonderful presentation.
Kind Malaysia, the concept is actually to connect corporates with the civil society. We need to understand that we have a responsibility. We did this activity, it has to have real meaning and real impact of contributing back to society, because overall will benefit the country as a whole.
Kind Malaysia serves as a unique platform to promote engagement between the private sector with community groups, offering collaborative opportunity through partnership to further enhance corporate role in humanity.
It doesn't take much to spark a revolution. Let's spark a revolution that makes a difference in this world.
Together, all the universities to come together under our platform, and then we give up scholarships in various universities for people who really deserve it. And we have been doing this because we felt that people like y'all who do this work unrecognized deserves to be recognized. So we have these unsung heroes because we want to recognize y'all for your great job that you guys do.
Kind Malaysia, the concept is actually to connect corporates with the civil society. We need to understand that we have a responsibility. We did this activity, it has to have real meaning and real impact of contributing back to society, because overall will benefit the country as a whole.
Kind Malaysia serves as a unique platform to promote engagement between the private sector with community groups, offering collaborative opportunity through partnership to further enhance corporate role in humanity.
It doesn't take much to spark a revolution. Let's spark a revolution that makes a difference in this world.
Bring together all the universities to come together under our platform, and then we give up scholarships in various universities for people who really deserve it. And we have been doing this because we felt that people like y'all who do this work unrecognized deserves to be recognized. So we have these unsung heroes because we want to recognize y'all for your great job that you guys do.
Kind Malaysia, the concept is actually to connect corporates with the civil society. We need to understand that we have a responsibility. We did this activity, it has to have real meaning and real impact of contributing back to society, because overall will benefit the country as a whole.
Kind Malaysia serves as a unique platform to promote engagement between the private sector with community groups, offering collaborative opportunity through partnership to further enhance corporate role in humanity.
It doesn't take much to spark a revolution. Let's spark a revolution that makes a difference in this world.
Bring together all the universities to come together under our platform, and then we give up scholarships in various universities for people who really deserve it. And we have been doing this because we felt that people like y'all who do this work unrecognized deserves to be recognized. So we have these unsung heroes because we want to recognize y'all for your great job that you guys do.
Ladies and gentlemen, Charis Hospice has been providing free medical home care support and services for patients with cancer and other advanced critical illness in Penang Island since 2004. Charis Hospice's mission is to serve as a global platform to inspire, inform and empower individuals, governments and organizations to increase access and optimize the practice of palliative care. Towards a world free from health-related suffering is the vision. Our next presentation titled End of Life Care, Right Conversation at the Right Time by Dr. Oo Loo Chan, founder of Medical Director of Charis Hospice Penang.
Hello, and welcome to our session on talking about end-of-life care. Now, talking about dying and end-of-life care has almost always been a taboo. However, it is an important conversation to have if you or your loved one is managing a life-threatening or serious illness. This session will talk about how to have the right conversations at the right time. Over the next 30 minutes, you will hear from Dr. Oo Loo Chan and Ms. Yuan Yok Peng. Dr. Oo founded Charis Hospice, a non-profit palliative home care service provider in Penang in 2004. And Yok Peng was a caregiver for her parents, who were both patients of Charis Hospice. I'd like to hand this time now over to Dr. Oo.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share with you and hopefully stimulate some thoughts on this topic of end-of-life care. You may ask, what is end-of-life care? Well, the phrase is self-explanatory. When life is no longer open-ended, when the fairy tale version of live forever and ever no longer applies, when the reality of dying is staring at you, whether you want to see it or not, what kind of care do we want? Why do we need to have such conversations? Most, if not all of us, are not comfortable with the thought of death and dying. We don't want to talk or even think about it. We prefer to be positive about aging. Certainly, there's a place for that. We need to age well, maintain our physical, emotional, and social health as best as we can. But that doesn't eliminate dying. When my patient had these words, pain in the heart, 痛苦在心里, tattooed on her body, little did she realize that years later, she will walk the journey where pain in the heart is more than cancer pain. Pain is not just physical. It is more than physical. There is the emotional, social, and spiritual aspects too. But unless physical pain is controlled, Often exploring the other aspects of pain is difficult. And unless these other aspects are looked into, physical pain can be challenging to control. Not infrequently, my patients have more pain in the heart than physical pain. Spirituality is not the same as religiosity. It has to do with issues like transcendence, finding meaning in the journey of critical illness, the meaning of life, and even death. This total pain concept is foundational to palliative care. What is palliative care? It is compassionate, whole-person care for patients with life-threatening illnesses and their families. The focus is on quality of life, and it supports the family too. You matter because you are you, and you matter to the end of your life. We will do all we can, not only to help you die peacefully, but also to live until you die. I quote Dame Cecilia Saunders, the founder of the modern hospice movement. Because palliative care is associated with dying, there is a taboo and misperception about palliative care. I have, on a light tone on occasions, told my patients and families that I'm not God and have no say over whatsoever whether they live or die. My team is there to help make the journey easier. Palliative care is not about giving up, but moving on and having a good closure if and when the time comes. Life is like riding a bicycle, I quote Albert Einstein. To keep your balance, you must keep on moving. When do I see my patients stagnating? When I see them waiting to get better before venturing on with what they can still do, waiting to revert to their pre-illness condition. Or when I see them cling to unrealistic expectations of cure, refusing to talk nor make preparations on end-of-life issues. It can be moving from hospital to hospital, going on multiple lines of aggressive treatment after treatment. This is different from getting a second opinion, which at times is warranted. It can be the gritting of teeth, using warlike metaphors like fight, when there needs to be some letting go, and not getting all tensed up, sucking up whatever life and quality of life that remains. Don't get me wrong, I rejoice when my patients do well. We want them to live until they die, as what Dame Cecilia Saunders said. What are our preferences in end of life? Have we made known to our loved ones so that they don't have to carry the burden and possible guilt of decision-making when we no longer have the mental capacity to decide, and avoid potential strife among them if they have differing opinions? End-of-life conversations are even more important today for various reasons. Rapidly expanding treatment possibilities, fragmented healthcare, different healthcare personnel are involved with no overall person in charge. Fiscal constraints, especially when there is no medical insurance. Increasing aging population and chronic diseases. Malaysia is fast becoming an aging society with high prevalence of non-communicable lifestyle diseases. Medicalization of dying. Dying has shifted from being a family and social process to a specialized, often institutionalized process, only to be facilitated by medically trained personnel. Can you take this 1-minute survey? Would you want to be told if you were diagnosed with a serious illness? If you had a serious life-limiting illness, where would you like to be cared for? If you were suffering from a serious life-limiting illness, what would be your main concerns? Doctors don't find it easy to talk about dying. How do we create opportunities, yet not bring about too much discomfort to our loved ones and ourselves? Is this COVID-19 pandemic making it easier or more difficult? For many, this pandemic has been or is at our doorstep. Even if it hasn't entered our homes, it has caused much trauma, even grief to many. Can a prior discussion of end-of-life issues help alleviate some of this pain? Of course, there are distinct differences between COVID-19 infection and other life-threatening illnesses like cancer, but there are common end-of-life issues too. We need a new perspective. We need to involve society to be more aware of palliative care and to dialogue more on end-of-life issues. When is the correct time for palliative care? Certainly not when the patient has exhausted all aggressive treatment and told nothing more can be done. Continuity of care is crucial to ensure the patient doesn't feel abandoned. We need a phased transition, incorporating palliative care in parallel with disease-modifying treatments earlier on. By the way, when the patient is totally under palliative care, it is utterly wrong to think nothing can be done. Just that the focus has changed from quantity of life to quality of life. Allow me to reiterate the essence of palliative care with a well-known fable of the elephants and the blind man, who were asked to touch the elephant and describe what the elephant is like. Every part is an integral part of palliative care. The ears represent excellent listening. Often, we don't have answers to the questions our patients asked, or these are not the answers they are looking for. The strong and sturdy legs are for them to hold on to when the going gets tough. Palliative care endeavors to align all four legs so that they move in the same direction, not being pulled by conflicting advice, no matter how well-intentioned they are. We also aim for good symptom control, like pain, so that it is possible to move on. The body is for them to lean on when they just can't go on. The tail represents end of life, and dying can happen with dignity. To achieve the above, my team must have the 3 C's: professional competency, compassion, and excellent communication skills. We are very thankful that today we have Yok Peng here to share with us her journey in caring for her parents.
Thank you, Dr. Wu. This morning, I want to thank you, Charis Hospice, for giving me this opportunity to share my story. First, I want to begin off that both my parents are cancer patients and my mom was also a dementia patient. My father, being a scout during his school days, he was very proud of him being a scouter and had always hold on to the motto of be prepared. There was one morning at the hospital bed, my brother broke the news to him on his diagnosis and his prognosis. My father, being brave and calm, he accepted the fact. Well, when he was discharged from the hospital and when he was back home, his self-denial phase took off. He has been asking himself every day, why was he being stricken with this illness, cancer, when he has always been healthy all this while? But nevertheless, he said, he being a strong man, he will definitely fight this battle. Well, in these most unsettled moments, my mom was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is an illness, which is cancer of the blood affecting the bones, and dementia. Well, it was a double whammy for our family. And during these times, our family were really unsure how to move on. It was very difficult when we saw our mom, who was at the later stage. She really had to depend on others to help her on her basic activities for a living. So, but however, as a family, we were determined that we wanted to spend valuable time with our parents, knowing that there will come a day that we are going to leave them and we are going to let them go. But as a family, we were very depressed because we didn't know what to do, how to move on, and what to expect. It was during this time when a family friend connected us with Charis Hospice. Charis Hospice is an organization where they offer palliative care services to patients with critical illness. So the Charis Hospice team, their medical team, was headed by Dr. Wu, and Dr. Wu's nurses come to visit my parents. They make their weekly visits. They come to review my parents. They come to manage their pain, their discomfort. And most importantly, they have encouraged them all the way. I would like to share with you all, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, that there was once when at the later stage of my dad's illness, he was unable to eat and drink for a consecutive 2 to 3 days. And it had really worried us so much. That day, Dr. Wu and her team came to visit my father. And Dr. Wu, being a palliative doctor, she was very patient with my father, as he was a man of a few words. Dr. Wu had a conversation with my dad which lasted for 1.5 hours, which she got to know that my dad's favorite food was ice cream. Wow, that was perfect, because my dad needed ice cream at that time to give him the energy. And we saw him enjoying the ice cream and eating the ice cream. Well, it really gave us so much comfort and joy just by seeing him eating his favorite food. And also, at the later stage of my mom in her last days, we saw her in pain and in discomfort. And then it was so good that we had Charis Hospice with us. The nurses came, Dr. Wu came, and with the prescription, with the medication prescribed, my mom was able to rest comfortably on her bed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say that by just seeing them in a relaxed mode, by just seeing them comfortably resting, we really treasure these moments so dearly, as they serve as long-lasting memories for us. And also, I would like to say that Charis Hospice is just so important to patients with end-of-life stage, is because patients like them, they really need to be encouraged at all times as a mode to add life to their remaining days. And it can only happen through Charis Hospice, where they are through the team from Charis Hospice, because they are just trained to provide life and to provide quality to end stage life patients. To sum it up all, I would say that Charis Hospice does not only help the patients, but they do help the caregivers and the family. I would say that going through with my parents through this journey, Charis Hospice has also journeyed through with us. With this, I would say that for me as a carer, I have definitely learned when to let go and when the time is ready for my parents to leave us. However, not only that, as a carer, I would now say that as I come up from this journey, together with Charis Hospice, it has definitely made me brave and patient to face life challenges, for they are real, and I now can handle them with maturity. And I want to say also that Charis Hospice team of nurses have also helped us so much. Reason being, at the last, as the illness in my parents progress, they get weaker and weaker. Thus, it is no longer easy to mobilize them to and fro to the hospital. There's a time when we call, each time when we needed help, we will call Charis Hospice. The team will come and they're ever ready to give the medical advice, the medical support to the patient and the caregivers for the next step of action to take. With this, I would want to say that I want to take this opportunity to also thank Charis Hospice to help us as a family and me as a caregiver to be strong, to be able to journey through this difficult, to journey through our difficult time. And I also want to encourage that the best time to engage Charis Hospice to a patient with critical illness is the time of the first diagnosis, because I want to stress that palliative care services cannot be fruitful overnight, but it is a process that has to be developed over time with the patient and the family. I hope my sharing today would give ladies and gentlemen a different perspective on palliative care and the importance of it, as how it impacts the patient to add life and quality at their remaining days, and also to strengthen the family members, the caregivers, emotionally, mentally, and mentally. Thus, I would encourage all of you to have a different perception on palliative care, be open to palliative care services. In this, again, I want to thank you, Charis Hospice, for giving us all these services. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Oo and Beng, for the informative and heartfelt sharing. And a big thank you to everyone for joining our session. I leave you all with a question today. Can we work together to make palliative care more available to every Malaysian? By engaging with others to increase awareness of palliative care and to promote dialogue on end-of-life issues? Or by engaging directly with palliative care providers or hospices and offering your support in various ways, individually or through CSR activities? or even by agitating authorities to give more attention to end-of-life care, be it our government, insurance providers, etc. We may not be able to add days to life, but we may be able to add life to days. Finally, a few words about Charis Hospice Penang. Founded in 2004, Charis Hospice is a charitable organization that provides free medical home care support and services for patients with cancer and other advanced critical illnesses in Penang Island. We are funded through active fundraising efforts and donations from the public, churches, and corporate organizations, together with a small grant from the government. We would like to continue to reach out, touch lives, and bring hope. Would you like to partner with us? Come and visit our virtual booth to learn more. Thank you very much for your time and attention today.
Aligned with Charis Hospice's mission to ensure no one journeys alone through illness and loss, this charity photo contest was aimed to raise funds for our operations and to reach out to more palliative care patients in Penang. We received over 90 photo submissions where contestants had opportunity to showcase their photography skills and their interpretation of what no one journeys alone means to them.
No one journeys alone. No one should journey alone. We in Charis Hospice will work hard so that patients, caregivers and families we help will not have to journey alone in their battle with life-threatening illnesses. Charis Hospice mission is to reach out to those in the community in Penang, providing them with holistic medical and psychosocial care and enabling them to move on in life as best as they can. We thank our doctors, nurses, staff, volunteers and donors for making our mission possible.
In the midst of the waves of the turmoil and confusion of a life-threatening illness, when there's pain or other symptoms, when decisions need to be made, when release is needed, when going on is tough, be it for the patient or the family, it helps when there's someone journeying with you. And that's the mission of Charis Hospice, a community palliative care service provider. This pandemic has amplified the challenges, including the loneliness of facing a life-threatening illness. The need for palliative care will grow as society ages and the family gets smaller and more dispersed. Will you continue to support my team as we endeavor to add life to days of the patients and families we journey with, even if we may not be able to add days to life?
And on behalf of the organizing committee, I wish to express our sincere and heartfelt thanks to all the very generous sponsors and the very creative participants of the No One Journeys Alone photo contest. For without you, all our efforts would be in vain. I'm also delighted to inform you that we have managed to collect nearly 200,000 ringgit to ensure Charis Hospice can continue to provide palliative care services to the local community. Thank you once again for your help.
OCBC has been partnering with Charis Hospice since 2016. Charis has always led the way in terms of trying to get people to participate in very innovative ways. 1,000 words comes from pictures. And I think we're happy that many of our staff participated, and we're very happy that we're able to contribute and raise money for the people who needed so much help during this pandemic. It's the work that you do that gives us this gratification, the willingness to continue to work with you for many years to come. Thank you very much again, and God bless all of you in the work that you do for the needy. Thank you.
Agilent Technologies has been partnering with Charis Hospice Penang for many meaningful charity events in the past years. We are all very fortunate in working with many Charis Hospice angels in supporting hospice patients and helping to create awareness on palliative care to Penang's community. Come and join us in these No One Journeys Alone events and continue to help in bringing awareness to a broader community. Thank you.
Boston Scientific has been sponsoring Charis Hospice since 2017. Over the years, our employees took part in the More Hunt, and I must say they were very well organized and definitely a fun and engaging program. Social activities stopped due to pandemic. However, the public support to the needy got to be continued with the caring heart. This year, No One Journey Alone charity photo contest program is very meaningful and aligned with the missions of Charis Hospice. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations to Charis Hospice on organizing such a wonderful charity photography contest. I'm Sunny, the founder of Sunny Sun Photography in Penang. It's been an honor being one of the judges for this contest. Best wish to all the contestants who contribute by making a donation to enter and sharing your photograph. I've been seeing some great pictures while judging, so a big congratulations to all the winners again. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Selena Jin. First of all, I would like to thank the organizing team from Charis Hospice and all the judges for giving me this opportunity to win the contest. My photo is about the love and care between the patient and family. I believe this charity photo contest is very meaningful to everyone of us. Despite the awards winning matters, all the photos submitted have their own value for the team No One Journeys Alone. This photo contest has raised the awareness for us about the palliative care. It's important because it helps to improve the quality of life for patients and their family who are facing challenges associated with cancer or other advanced critical illness. For this, I represent my family to thank Charis Hospice for providing the free medical support home care service to my mom. Lastly, other than medical support, another big thanks to a nurse from Charis Hospice, Miss Chi. Thank you for giving emotional support to my mom with compassion. Thank you.
Thank you for participating and supporting Charis Hospice's No One Journeys Alone charity photo contest. We urge you to share this message to many more in the community so that indeed no one journeys alone in crisis of life-threatening illnesses.
Thank you, Dr. Loo Chan, for the meaningful presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've gained benefits and some insights from the presentation earlier. We would like to thank Special Olympic, WIGTA, Be Good, Do Good Association, and Charis Hospice for being with us today. Before I end the session, I would like to remind everyone to stay online on the Kind Malaysia 2021 virtual platform and visit all the participating organizations. Do not forget to interact with the exhibitors by contacting them through the button displayed on their booth. And don't forget to watch the presentation from these organizations happening throughout the event day. You may refer to the overall program schedule as prepared in the virtual platform. Take a screenshot or photo shoot of your moments with Kind Malaysia and tag us on social media at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And with that, I would like to end the session. Till then, stay safe and please take care.